talked to Ron and reminded him.
The people or the tent? I didn't know what you were.
Only one tent.
I told him, I said, show that to everybody.
Yeah, I think it's only my tenant. I'm
Yep.
gonna look through this.
Well, we just moved the 220 people
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, so.
But anyway, he will take care of
Okay,
it.
good.
Thank you, everybody, for coming to the meeting tonight. I'll call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
President Burdine,
Here.
Trustee Polito,
Here.
Trustee Hickey. Here. Trustee McClendon,
Here.
Trustee Reeves,
Here.
Trustee Horky,
Here.
Trustee Schroeder,
Here.
Manager Yule.
Here.
May we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Motion would be in order to approve tonight's agenda.
Also move.
Second.
It's been moved and supported that approve tonight's agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. Approval of the minutes for the public hearing, May 7th, 2019, and the regular meeting minutes, May 7th, 2019. A motion would be in order to place on file.
So moved.
Second.
It's been a motion by Alina Horky and seconded by Mike McClendon to place the approval of minutes on file as printed. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Petitions and communications. Dave, would you like to speak on this for recommendation for Steve Smith?
Chief Garble's here with Sergeant Sale.
Good evening, Council. It is my pleasure to introduce you and kind of explain a situation to you that one of our officers was involved in back on April 17th of this year, and that involved our midnight officer, Steve Schmidt. I'm going to have him come up here now. On April 17th at approximately 12:20 a.m., Officer Schmidt was working the detail in Dundee. Dispatch had advised of a situation at actually Milwaukee Road and US 23 of a female subject hanging over the viaduct. It looked like the female was going to do harm to herself. Officer Schmidt had requested to move up to assist and back up the county unit. The county sergeant had given Officer Schmidt the permission. With that, he proceeded up to Milwaukee Road at US 23. Once he arrived, he was advised that the incident was at Cone Road in US 23. Officer Schmidt had made his way up to Cone Road in US 23, where he encountered a hostile situation of a young female lady that was actually sitting over the edge on the viaduct ready to jump. Officer Schmidt had encountered her, created what I like to call a diversion by creating a rapport with her. And after a matter of about 3 minutes in watching his body cam, within that time he was able to close the distance and the gap, at what point she was going to jump. The county car had actually stopped traffic on US 23 at the overpass at Cone Road, and two of the Michigan State Police units that were out there had stopped the southbound flow of traffic. Officer Schmidt was able to grab the female from doing harm, pulling her back onto Cone Road and subduing her and getting in his vehicle. And in return, I'd like to recognize him with an award for meritorious service. And Officer Schmidt, I'll give you a chance to say something, but I want to read this to the council first, and then I'm going to give this to you. Officer Schmidt, first of all, I just want to congratulate you again, and it is grateful recognition of meritorious service rendered in the line of duty on April 17, 2019. Your diligence, perseverance, and performance during this most difficult task went beyond expectation by a member of the Dundee Police Department. Because of your actions, it is without doubt that a citizen of Milan Township within the county of Monroe was protected by your actions. The Dundee Police Department and the citizens of the village of Dundee are grateful for your service and award you, this 4th day of June, 2019, the award for meritorious service. Thank you. Congratulations. I know he's not one to talk a lot, but I'm going to give him a few seconds.
Thank you, Chief. I'd like to thank the Village Council for giving me this time to give me this award. My sergeants here, Chief Garbo, Manager Daviel, thank you everybody. And somebody else I'd like to recognize would be Monroe County Central Dispatch. I don't think they get enough credit for what they do, and I'd just like to thank them because they're the ones that had to talk to these people before I had to deal with them. So they helped me that night as well. So I'd like to thank everybody. Oh, my mother and father, Mom and Dad. Without them, I wouldn't be here. But once again, thank you everybody for this award. I really do appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you are a very fine young man and officer.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Chief, just a second, does his mom and I seen him out with his camera. Would you like to come up and take a picture with the chief and your son? Come on up.
Yeah. Going back,
Everybody does. So she's probably the one that helped him out.
The IT guy moved that back there. He's gotta move her back up here. He's been looking at cameras all day.
Excuse me. Next, we'll have the introduction of engineering intern Michael Roach. Is he here tonight?
I'm going to pass on that. Last minute situation arose that we're not going to be able to do that tonight.
Okay. Is there any citizens' comments on agenda items tonight? And could we have a motion to place this on file, the recognition of Mr. Smith and... Okay, we don't need it, all right. Yep. Shirley, would you like to read the citizens' comments on the agenda?
Okay, even though we do not have any citizens' comments this evening, I'd like to read this statement that we always present before then. Its public comments are provided at both the beginning and at the end of the board meeting. The purpose of the public comment is to provide an opportunity for a member of the public to speak. The role of the board is to listen attentively, and we thank you in advance for sharing your thoughts and ideas. All members of the public that speak during public comments will need to state their name. We have designated up to 4 minutes per person for each topic presented. The board's role is to listen to carefully and to the care and the concerns of the community. The manager or designee will follow up the concerns, the comments as soon as possible. Please contact the village manager's office if you have any additional questions.
All right, I'll give you one more chance for the citizens' comments on the agenda items. Hearing none, I guess we're going to go to the consent agenda.
No, you have to vote on that.
I
Yep,
move
okay.
to
Oh,
place the
I'm sorry.
petitions and communications on file.
Very good.
Second.
It's been moved by Andrea Hickey and seconded by Mr. Schroeder that we put the petitions and communications and place them on file. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carried. Next, we go to the consent agenda. Consent agenda A, All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the village council and will be enacted by one motion. There will not be separate discussions of these items. However, if discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately.
I move to accept the consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved by, excuse me, Andrea Hickey and seconded by Alina Horkey that we approve the consent agenda. Is there, roll call, please.
It was moved by trustee Hickey, supported by trustee Horkey, to accept the consent agenda as presented and placed on file. Trustee Hickey?
Yes.
Trustee McClendon?
Yes.
Trustee Reeves?
Yes.
Trustee Horkey?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder?
Yes.
Trustee Burdine?
Yes.
Oh, excuse me, I forgot. Trustee Polito?
Yes.
Now President Burdine.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Now we go to the new business, the school liaison agreement. Has everybody read their packet and ready to vote on this? Well, we need a we need a motion to accept the school liaison agreement.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by trustee Schroeder and seconded by Lena Horkey that we accept the school liaison agreement. Roll call, please.
It was moved by trustee Schroeder, supported by trustee Horkey, to approve the school liaison agreement with the Dundee Community Schools for the school year September 1st, 2019 through June 20th, 2020. Trustee McClendon?
Yes.
Trustee Reeves?
Yes.
Trustee Horkey?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder?
Yes.
Trustee Polito?
Yes.
Trustee Hickey?
Yes.
President Burdine?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Under new business, section B, setting the 2019 tax rate. Has everybody read their agenda item review on this and ready to vote on it?
I move that we accept the 2019 tax rate.
Second.
It's been moved by Elena Horkey and seconded by Jordan Reeves that we accept the 2019 tax rate. Roll call, please.
Okay, I will insert the amount for the tax rate into the motion.
Yes, please.
Okay. It was moved by trustee Horkey and supported by trustee Reeves to set the 2019 tax rate for the general fund at 6.9221 and the municipal highway fund at 2.8889 for a total tax rate of 9.811. Trustee Reeves?
Yes.
Trustee Horkey?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder?
Yes.
Trustee Polito?
Yes.
Trustee Hickey?
Yes.
Trustee McClendon?
Yes.
President Burdine?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Now we go to new business, section C, the smart board overview.
I'm going to pass on that one also, last minute technicalities.
Okay. Old business, A, change order to professional service agreement, water rehabilitation study. Everybody's read their packet on this, I assume, too? Dave, you want to say anything about the water rehabilitation study?
No, I think that explains it unless somebody has a question.
Okay. Seeing there's no questions, a motion would be in order to accept the change order to professional services agreement, water rehabilitation study.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by trustee Schroeder and seconded by trustee Hickey that we approve the change order for professional services agreement, water rehabilitation study. Is there any discussion on this motion? Hearing none and seeing none, roll call, please.
It was moved by trustee Schroeder and supported by trustee Hickey to approve the change order for professional service agreement with Manikin and Smith for the water reliability study in the amount not to exceed $2,544. Trustee Horky,
Yes.
trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
trustee Polito,
Yes.
trustee Hickey,
Yes.
trustee McClendon,
Yes.
trustee Reeves,
Yes.
President Badine,
Yes.
motion carried.
Dave, would you like to speak on item 10, upcoming training opportunities?
As we talked about before, we're required by the RRC program that we're working through to list on all agendas or any upcoming training opportunities. And this one, Kathy, Teresa, and Robin will be doing a webinar on healthcare retirement.
Okay. Thank you. How about village manager comments tonight?
I've got a couple things here, and I'm going to ask Michael to talk about what he was involved in this weekend. And you see in front of you, and Nick has asked me to read this publicly. Michael and Nick work closely together with RRC, with SEMCOG, and they got a spot at the farmer's market on Sunday and was passing out, and Nick provided the council with a doggy bag holder, a water bottle, grease container thing to come down, take at your house and pour the grease into it and then dispose of. We're really trying to push, and SEMCOG is really trying to push nothing down the drains, like different wipes or grease. It's wreaking havoc on across the state on wastewater treatment plants and also our plant. So we're trying to educate everybody, and Nick and Michael was up, and I'm going to ask Michael in a minute to go over some stuff, and then Nick put some. I guess I don't have to read that. Everybody's got it. You can read it, and just explains a little bit what they were doing. I won't take up your time with that. I'm going to see if I can get this to work.
The water we drink, the water we enjoy, the water we use. There's only one water, and it belongs to all of us. We live at the center of one of the world's greatest resources. The Great Lakes, along with our smaller lakes and rivers, provide all the fresh water we could ever need. Our water is plentiful and vital to our daily lives, but we depend just as much on water providers and systems to treat and deliver the water we drink, the water that falls, and the water we send down the drain. It takes thousands of miles of pipes and a workforce of devoted professionals to cycle water out of our lakes and rivers, through our treatment plants, into our homes, back through the wastewater treatment plants, and into our lakes and rivers again. Wastewater flows through miles and miles of sewer pipes so it can be cleaned at treatment plants. Whenever we flush a toilet or run a faucet, we send water and whatever is in it through a vast system of pipes and treatment facilities. This very large and complex system is only built to handle a few things, but thanks to the hard work and expertise of our wastewater treatment providers, it handles them really well. Everything else needs to be recycled or go into the trash. Packaging might say wipes are flushable, but they wreak havoc on our wastewater system. Fats, oils, and greases make food delicious, but they go up the works. To keep wastewater flowing, we need to give the system only the things it can handle. Rainfall replenishes our most priceless natural resource, our fresh water. Stormwater flows off buildings, driveways, and roads, through pipes and ditches, into our lakes, rivers, and streams. All the things that stormwater picks up along the way, including harmful chemicals, oils, and fertilizers, also flow into our waterways. By only allowing rain down the storm drain, we can keep our waters fresh. There's only one water, and it's ours to protect. Keep it fresh. Keep it flowing. Learn more at mi1water.org. The water we drink, the water we enjoy, the water we use. There's only one water.
Michael, anytime, if you want to jump in, feel free, please, of what, you've got a lot more knowledge on this than,
Another thing about that you really want to touch on is the flushable wipes. Just because they say flushable does not mean biodegradable. And a lot of people don't understand the difference of that. The flushable means that, yeah, it'll go down your toilet and won't get stuck in your system, hopefully in none of your traps or nothing like that. But it doesn't mean, like it showed on the film there, when it goes through the gears and the grinders and everything, they get tore up and wreak havoc there. So that's what flushable basically is on that. It just means that it won't get caught in your system. The rest of this, what I have done also with Nick this weekend was on my end of it was Walk, Bike, Drive Safe organization, and I have some pamphlets out back there on the back table. Unfortunately, I don't have anything else to pass out to anybody because I didn't get a large allotment of stuff. I only had like 12 wristbands, 12 lights, and 25 lights that go on the bikes, but it was basically some materials that I passed out were lights to go on the front and the back of the bike, wristbands so when you're walking, and leg bands so when you're walking or jogging also. And it's basically to promote walk, drive, and bike safely through SEMCOG. And that organization also is if walkbikedrivesafe.org. You can go on there, and there's all sorts of videos that you can watch with your family and learn more about what you should do, because a lot of people just plainly forget to use safety tips as far as like raising your hands when you turn if you're on a bike or anything like that. Old things that we all forgot.
Nick's got some videos on here for you too,
Okay.
when you're ready for them.
Well, then I guess we'll just go ahead with the videos. That'll probably explain more than what I can.
Well, jump in when you want.
Proceed.
% of bicyclist deaths happen in the dark. Use a bike light when riding and watch for bikes when driving at night. Learn more at walkbikedrivesafe.org.
And he's got a couple more short ones. This one's about turning, Michael.
All right.
Bicycle and pedestrian crashes occur at intersections. Look, wait, turn. Wait for people walking and biking before you turn. Learn more at walkbikedrivesafe.org.
And I think
like I said, it's just stuff that we all know, but we all forget, and especially in today's world, being in a rush and everybody's in a hurry, got to have everything now, got to do everything now. Yeah, we just kind of forget sometimes. And I thought this was very good. So I wanted to help promote it more.
Well, and one thing, if I could just key in on that, is some people don't realize that the 3-foot Michigan bike passing law just went into effect, but you actually have to give bicyclists 3 feet when passing them on the roadway because they are allowed to be on the roadway just like any car. And they can now pull you over if you don't give them a full 3 feet at least. And believe me, from being on a bike, it'd be great if you could give them more than 3 feet, but 3 feet is the new minimum.
Thank you.
Michigan are working to make it easier for people to walk safely. However, there are places without sidewalks or crosswalks. If you're driving, keep an eye out for people on foot. Walk facing traffic as far from the center of the roadway as possible. Yield to oncoming automotive or bicycle traffic before entering the roadway. Use the traffic signal as a cue to cross. Make sure all lanes are clear and watch for turning vehicles before crossing. Learn more at walkbikedrivesafe.org.
That's it, Michael. And many thanks to Nick wanted me to pass on too. Many thanks to Michael, has been really, really involved with this, and he really appreciates it, and Mike's working hard with SEMCOG, going to a lot of meetings and everything, so we appreciate it, Mike.
And we wanted to, both of us, we really wanted to thank DDA for giving us the spot and being able to do it there. Appreciate it because it was a last minute notice. We know you fitted us in, and we really both appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Do we have a program for new people when they come into town for what to do on water and sewage and stuff? Does it inform them somehow?
There's some pamphlets that we will include in on their stuff that they come in and pick up. You've got it right here in front of you, flushable wipes, drinking water, and the other stormwater pamphlet right here. Kathy and Teresa attended Community College Excel training. Kathy took the intermediate course, and Teresa took the beginner course. So they were very, very excited when they came back from it, and they're excited about continuing that training in that area. And as you know, we partnered with the community college, and we're going to do a lot more training. We just did our first official for offering everybody outside confined space training here all day. There were 12 attendees from different municipalities and different organizations in the county. So that was very well received, and the county was the community college was very happy, and they're kind of calling us their West County College campus. So business summit today, probably our biggest attendance ever. We had in excess of 150 people there. I want to thank Chrysler for their involvement in it and allowing us to be at their facility and to showcase them. As you know, a tremendous growth in the state of Michigan and in the county here in Dundee, 500 to 600 new employees at Chrysler, which is going to be tremendous. And I was talking with the assistant plant manager afterwards, and he's kind of on the same list as us, that there's a lot of new people going to come here, a lot of people that transferred from the Mack Avenue plant. And I know Mr. Suave is salivating of how many homes, and Bell Estates is salivating how many apartments, because we're probably going to see a lot of those employees that will come here and live and attend our school, so and be part of the community. So and our restaurants should be getting ready for this influx. Bell Estates, 212 more apartments, and we have really got to push our census this year. We're already met with the census people from the state 2 or 3 times, and and Andrea is going to be involved in that, and we've got to really push to get an accurate count here in Dundee, because it's going to be a tremendous help to the community. So look for some more of that information. We're about halfway through our RSA, our road safety audit that we got the grant for. A lot of things are coming out on that, on the US 23 and M50 corridor and the downtown corridor. Some major changes suggested out by Kroger's, all the traffic that's out there, and then pedestrian traffic coming over from the apartments. So there's been a lot of great dialogue with Manick and Smith and the state, MDOT, and SEMCOG has participated. So it's really opened up the eyes to a lot of people, and I think MDOT is seeing that we do need some drastic change on our intersections, as I'm sure everybody here knows. Andrea, I'm going to ask for her when it's her time, or if she wants to now, talk a little bit about Kaboom, but it has been, our Kaboom grant for parks has been submitted. We were waiting the results, and did you get the email today? June 14th is the day we're going to find out.
Right.
So we're pretty excited about that. You want to touch base on what we changed to because of our situation over here, where we're going to go with it?
Well, the Kaboom grant was actually separate from the other grants that we were working on with our master plan and that with the DNR and stuff. So this is something separate that kind of came our way. Kaboom is actually looking at putting more things down in this part of southeast Michigan, because there hasn't been a lot of people who have gotten grants down this way. So they were really pushing us to do something. And so Dave and Tracy Anderson and I kind of talked it through about what would be good to be there. And the grant, what's it called? All Types of Play, or Play Everywhere?
Play
Anywhere?
Everywhere,
Yeah,
yes.
Play Everywhere. So it's kind of looking for non-traditional type play structures and that kind of things to come in. So not play, not walking past, essentially like outside things. And what we had decided on is taking and putting sort of like large games, things that are kind of cool that you see in other places, like those huge checkers and chessboards and things like that, and putting some of those things over at the park over by the Scout building. So it'll be more of a non-traditional kind of setup for kids to do, like hopscotch along a path rather than just having a walking path and those sorts of things. So it's kind of exciting because it's different. It's something that we don't have, so hopefully we can get that.
Would pickleball be considered?
Well, pickleball, all you actually need is the net, and you could actually play pickleball over at the old mill as it is. It would be something that we could perhaps get some nets and set up for one of our, say, music in the park or movie nights or something like that. But pickleball's kind of unique, where all you really need is a pad of cement, and we have that both
we
at
do.
the old mill and at the basketball courts. So.
Thank you.
So that'll be exciting. We'll be looking for that. Just some updates on our maintenance, which I went over, and our summit. Some of it I went over. McBride and Cabela will be coming to the board on the June 18th meeting for your consideration. Nick and Michael set up a tent at the farmer's market, and you have their picture, smiling faces, in your packet that Nick provided you in the back. So take a look at that. And I talked about the training, and the last thing I'll touch on is something I went over with, just kind of some food for thought for you guys at the business summit today. The Census Bureau, I learned, for every house, every apartment, every condo, they consider 2 people for each one. So if you take, the 2010 census, I think, has us like at 3,800 or close to 4,000. I forget what it was, but we think that we're close to 5,000 people right now. So if you take Suave Homes is going to put 50 homes in the ground this year, and then he just bought property out off of First Street and Village Square, and that is going to be high-end condos. So if you put his homes and his condos together, that's 148 more people into the village. Bell Estates, 212 apartments, times 2 is 424 people to the village. And Jim Scheich is now breaking ground on 16 more units for his condos. That's 32 more for a total of an additional, right today, 604 more people to the village of Dundee. Now I know Brian and Mr. Eddie Manuzak is very excited about the growth and the added kids at the school. So this is kind of some more food for the thought. If you take that 604 people and we're at 5,000 people, that's 10% growth, which is tremendous. Then you add 600 employees from Chrysler, and then add 500 families every weekend on average when the military gets up and running. And I told the crowd there today, and they laughed, that's a whole lot of cheeseburgers. So I hope our businesses and restaurants, home, I know Mr. Suave is super excited. Bell Estates is jumping up and down to try to attract these people into the village. And growth helps us with our taxes, helps us with our infrastructure. It helps from all our rates going up. So I think that's tremendous news, and like I said, I know Brian and Mr. Manuzak are pretty excited about what's going on over at the school. So that's all I have for right now.
All right, thanks, Dave. We have council member comments. Shirley, would you like to start first with Old Mill, Mayfly Festival?
Yes, we have a lot of things that's been going on in the next few months here. First of all, the Mayfly Music Festival will be coming up June 21st and 22nd, that the Business Association puts that on. And we have a lineup of entertainers, both on Friday and Saturday. We also have a big day of children's entertainment starting at 11 o'clock on Saturday and going through 6 o'clock. We have children's entertainers, we have games, we have crafts, we have anything you can think of for the kids. So it'll be a full day. It is free during the day until 6 o'clock, and at 6 o'clock, then there will be a fee of $5 to help us cover. I know it's really inexpensive for family entertainment, but we try to keep everything family entertainment. We have food vendors, we have crafters, we have all types of business vendors, so we have a lot of activities going on. So we hope everybody comes over and sees us at that time. Going on to the Old Mill, I'd like to announce that we were notified yesterday that we did receive the Monroe County Museum grant to put in our, take out the old unit heaters that's in the archives in the Ford generator room. So we now have a grant to take and put new equipment, heating and air conditioning equipment into those rooms. So this is something we're very excited about, and so we'll be getting those contracts out very shortly. Then the biggest thing, I think, for the museum coming up in September 7th through October 13th, the Smithsonian Traveling Exhibit out of Washington will be here. It's entitled Crossroads, Change in Rural America. And I saw a preview of the exhibit, and it touches all facets of life from the past all the way to the future. So our theme over at the museum that we're going to be having during that time, we're going to call Lift Your Eyes to the Future in Dundee. So we have lots of activities. We're in the planning stages right now for it, and I'll briefly want to kind of bring you up to date on a couple of things that's going to be going on. I talked to Andrea tonight, so we do have that confirmed. There's going to be, the museum will be open 7 days a week from 12 o'clock until 5 o'clock. Saturdays it will be open from 12 o'clock until 8 o'clock. So the Parks and Rec has agreed to take in with us. We're going to do on the 13th, music in the park, and Andrea's going to try to get something, music of all ages and generations. The following week, they're going to be having a movie in the park, and that is going to be Back to the Future. Another thing that's going on, we're partnering with the library, and the library will be having movies and also book reviews during that period of time. She hasn't given me a full schedule. I'm trying to get the schedule dates on everything. We are going to be having to embellish on the future. We are going to be asking the public if you're interested in drones and doing a video. We're asking people to submit a 1-minute video, the best of Dundee. Whatever you think is the best of Dundee, whether it's the river, it's an event, it's the fields for the farming, it is anything you can think of that you feel highlights Dundee and puts it in its best perspective. That video will be put together and it'll be running on a continual tape during that exhibition when they are here. It's something that is going to really highlight the village. Another thing that we will be doing is we are planning activities for on Sundays, and that's going to be speakers and people in different programs. One of our programs is going to be future farming. We're partnering with the community college and the FFA. We're here at the school to present that seminar on 2 o'clock on a Sunday. Another Sunday, we're going to have a powwow and an encampment. We're working with the battlefields on presenting that. Another one would be working with the school again. We're going to have a pep rally, which we're going to have coaches from the past and the present and our cheerleaders and our pep band, and we're going to have an event going on for over at the museum for that there. We're going to be also having, since we're touching all facets of life in the community, we're going to be working with the churches, and they're going to have one Sunday where they're going to be coming in and telling the history of their churches, what they're doing, and what the future of religion in our community is. I'm trying to think of something, all the other things we got doing. My brain just went dead. Also over at the school, we're having the robotics clubs. We're having them come over on a Sunday and doing a demonstration of their robotics program. So we have a lot of things going on. And other than just the seminars, we're also working on reviving and bringing back the past to the present walking tour. This will be a brochure. It's going to be self-guided tour, and it's going to be open during that period of time. You can come in, pick up a brochure, look at the exhibits, which are fabulous, and then go on a tour of the village, the downtown area. We're also in the works a driving tour, which I have to talk to Dave and Nick about. We are hoping to take and provide a tour on one on a Saturday and one on a Sunday. People can come over at specific times, and they can actually take a driving tour around the full village of Dundee to see where we're at, how we've progressed, our historical buildings, our historical houses that we have here. So I think we are trying to touch on everything that we can think of to touch every aspect of a person in Dundee and their interest would be. So anybody would like any information, you can go to our website, which will be up with the Smithsonian within a couple weeks. But other than that, just give me a call at the museum and I can answer any questions for you that you'd like. And we will need volunteers because I'm open 7 days a week. So I need people to be over there and help take and greet people and direct them around the museum. So give us a holler if you're interested. So we got a lot going on.
Well, thank you, Shirley. Is there a chance of getting Mr. DeRocher to come back to Dundee?
I hope so.
Me too.
I hope so. We're hoping to get a bunch of them back.
That'd be nice.
That'd be nice.
I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah. Hope.
And maybe the tours, is it possible getting a trolley or something?
That's what we're looking into, a trolley or some type of a bus. We're working in those areas, but that's what we're going to do for the driving tour. We're going to take and try to get the trolley or something. And schedule probably 2 to 3 tours, and on a Saturday, 2 to 3 tours, because we're figuring it'd probably take about an hour and a half to take and cover the village. So we're excited about all this stuff. And then we're trying to keep the kids involved and adults and our seniors, and so we're trying to touch on everybody.
Well, thank you very much. That's a good presentation. Danny, do you have anything to say this evening?
Yes, I do. I want to thank council for its support of DDA and the hard work that the members do putting on the functions that they do. I had mentioned at the last meeting the farmers market did kick off, but it really didn't get into gear until this past Sunday. We had beautiful weather. We had a lot of vendors out there. And again, if you haven't had an opportunity to come out, there's still not a lot of fresh vegetables yet because the farmers still can't get out into some of their fields with water, but there's a lot of other things going on. They had nice activities in the street at the last farmers market on Sunday. And I do want to say that since the last meeting that we had, the hanging baskets have been placed around the village, and they look absolutely beautiful. So again, a big shout out and thanks to Korolewski for the good work that they do. Thank you.
Andrea?
I just wanted, in case you guys didn't know, we're having an open house on June 10th at 6 p.m. here in the council chambers. We're getting input on the Parks and Rec master plan. So we're going to be set up in stations, and you'll have some Parks and Rec members at each station for each park, so including the new park. So if you have any insight of what you like about the parks, what you don't like about the parks, what you'd like to see in the village in general, that would be one of your opportunities to come give input. And all the comments and concerns that we get, we are going to make sure that we address them in some fashion in our master plan. This is really one of our biggest opportunities for public feedback, so please come and spend the couple hours with us if you can. And then the next thing is Music in the Park happens the second Friday of June, July, August, and September. So our first one's going to be coming up on June 14th. The band on the night of June 14th is going to be Last Exit. Last Exit is the Hazel Shorts brothers, Jay and Lee, that are actually teachers, one in the middle school, one in the high school at Dundee. So come support a local band. As always, they're family-friendly, kid-friendly, and they're always free to the public. So
Would that be held at Wolverine Park?
at Wolverine Park, they play underneath the gazebo, so bring your blankets, bring your chairs, and have a good time.
Thank you. Mike?
I would just like to say thank you again to the DDA for letting us come in at the last moment and be able to use their spot and everything. And again, there's some brochures on the back table outside as you leave. If you're interested in the program of bike, walk, drive safely. And that's all I have right now.
All right. Jordan?
Nothing today.
Alina?
Yep. I just want to say I'm grateful I was able to attend the summit today, Dave. That was a really cool event. My first time getting to go to that. And tour the engine plant. I was in Lyle and Denny's group. We kind of led the way, I think. And also, I plan on Andrea coming to that summit or the open house on Monday. My son and I, he's a year and a half old. We go to a lot of the different parks, so hopefully I can, give a little insight on what we enjoy.
Perfect.
So, all right, we'll see you then.
All right.
Brian?
I just want to talk really quickly about the liaison officer positions at the high school and the middle school and the elementary. It is more than just security, and we are grateful that we can continue this partnership. It is crucial that we have the opportunity for a proactive interaction with our youth. It's great to have the officers going in and teaching classes. It's great to have that resource where if a kid's having problems or questions, they can go to an officer and ask those questions. The amount of information that comes out, that we can be proactive. A lot of law enforcement we like to view as reactive, but the officers that we have at the school are amazing, and they do a great job being proactive and educating our youth. So it is a huge position. I think it benefits the village of Dundee greatly, and I appreciate the council approving that contract and the continued relationship with the district.
And there's actually going to be an event in August at Papa John's. Maybe August 8th sounds familiar. And the new liaison officer will be out there kind of getting to know the public. So stay tuned for that, because I know I've heard rumblings of that happening, and it sounds like from what I hear from Stacy at Papa John's, it's going to be a really fun event and a good opportunity to put a face to the names for the liaison officers.
Is Officer Meyer retiring? And now we have 2 or 3? How many liaison officers?
We'll have a total of 2 positions
Okay.
At the school district.
Yes.
I can't speak on Officer Meyer exactly what he's doing, but I know that we have a new officer coming in. I met with her once. She's amazing. She has an amazing story, and I think she's great for the community and for the district, and we look forward to getting to know her better.
Okay, thanks, Brian. I went to the Memorial Day service, and it was very good, and I'd like to thank all the participants, all the veterans, the Dundee High School Band and Chorus, Troop 511 of the Boy Scouts, the American Legion, the Vets Hall. The memorial service was a great success, and as taps was being played, 2 eagles were flying high in the sky over the river, and it just brought chills to my spine. It was beautiful. And I'd also like to thank the DPW for having the American flags up on the bridge and all around town. I just love looking at the American flags. And it's been over a year now, so we need to talk to DTE to please take a look at putting up the street lights on M50 and Mechanic and M50 and South Streets. Thank you. The next thing will be citizens' comments. Is there any citizens' comments tonight?
And I forgot, Mr. Burdine, to ask Mr. Lizette if he had anything from the township too, so.
I just wanted to thank the invitation to the business summit that was extended to the township board. I was able to attend that today. Very good presentation, great tour of the plant, and continued growth for the community, and that's great for everybody. Thank you.
Just glad you could be there. Thanks. Gary.
And thanks, Gary and Dale, because you guys set up the speakers at the memorial service and everything went smoothly. A lot of people attended this year, and as they did last year, but it was a lot better day this year to have it. It was because last year was extremely hot. Since we have no closed sessions,
I think you have a.
oh, John?
I didn't know if it was going to be mentioned about the lighting situation at Mechanic and Tecumseh Street. It was after dark. It's a bear up there. You can't tell where the street's at. Also, we have a double whammy at South, Rawson, and Tecumseh Street. You know where the traffic is coming from. It's worse than it used to be in Telegraph Road down in Monroe. And the thing is, I come out there every morning on Mechanic Street and see these children crossing in the dark, going to school. And somebody's going to get killed there. So is that why the 3 Edison poles are there on Mechanic Street? Going to put some lights in or what?
I noticed them too. I'm not for sure. Dave, do you know, is that why they're there?
Yes, that's advised council before. That's already a done deal, and we're just waiting for them to install them.
Good. Glad to hear that.
Could take a little while.
Thank you.
but-
My name is John Eichels. I live in South Street.
Thank you,
Thank you.
John.
Thanks,
Thank you.
John.
Since there's no closed session, this meeting will be adjourned.